Here from the Rising Eagle Studios at the Warrior Healing Center, Sierra Vista, Arizona, and today is July 30th, 2021. Thank you for joining us today. Good morning, everybody. I know I said that once before, but just to get that out there. So today's special guest is veteran Everett Beverly, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate having you here at the Warrior Healing Center. So what we'd like to do is get to know a little bit about yourself, your military career, any hobbies, community activities, stuff like that. So to begin with, where's home? Where were you raised at? Born and raised?
I was born in Portsmouth, Virginia, and raised in New York City.
New York City, huh?
Yes.
Wow, how long?
How
long were you there for?
Since I was one.
Uh-huh.
And I joined the military at Fort Hamilton in New York.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you went to high school and everything there, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Wingate High School.
What high school?
Wingate.
Wingate High School.
Yes.
What's their mascot? You remember?
No, I don't remember.
Don't remember the mascot.
I just remember the school colors were like the same as the Army. Gold and black.
Gold and black, yeah.
Yes.
I think that's the color of the, is it Las Vegas Knights or something too?
Oh,
I think,
yeah.
The hockey team or something like that.
Oh, no, the football team.
Football.
Yes.
So you went to high school and then you said you went, where did you do your MEPS thing and all that when you were enlisting and taking your oath? All of that was right there in New York City?
In Fort Hamilton, yes.
At Fort Hamilton.
Yes.
So when you enlisted, took your oath, Fort Hamilton, where did you go for basic training?
I went to Fort Jackson.
Fort Jackson, South Carolina?
Yes.
Okay. I like to put the states out there just to verify, to make sure I'm got an idea where you're at.
Right.
So Fort Jackson, South Carolina, you were at basic training for how long?
Oh, I think it was about 4 weeks.
4 weeks?
4 or 6 weeks.
Okay.
It's been a while.
Yeah. Now, what branch were you in?
I was in the United States Army.
The United States Army. Go Army, right?
Yes.
So after basic training at Fort Jackson, you went to, where did you go for AIT?
Fort Gordon.
Fort Gordon, Georgia, huh?
Yes.
What did you do as in the Army? What was your MOS?
I was a 31 Juliet, teletype writer repair.
Okay.
So I repaired teletypes, and I don't think they even use them anymore.
I find it really interesting that a lot of the veterans that I interview in our area have some type of a communications connection.
Right.
It's always a connection there. So I know we had had signal units and stuff here, but so when you were at AIT, teletype repair, and where was your first duty station at?
Fort Huachuca, here.
Fort We Gotcha, and you ain't going anywhere either.
That's right.
And you got here at Fort Huachuca in what year?
I got here in 82, I want to say.
1980, around 19. So you've been here for a while.
82, yeah.
So, and you were here for how long was your first duty assignment?
My first duty assignment was, I think I stayed here for about 2 years.
2 years?
Yes.
And then where did you go?
And from here, I wound up in Darmstadt, Germany.
Germany? Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that if you can.
Oh, a lot of beer drinking. It was interesting, learning a different culture and everything.
Right.
I had a great time. I stayed there for, about 2 years in Darmstadt, but it was an eye-opener, and, I had a great time. Didn't get in much trouble there.
Right.
But, yeah.
Now, not having been overseas, and you were saying that it was like an eye-opener, can you give us a little bit of an example of maybe some of the things that you noticed that were really different in Germany than what you experienced here in the States?
Well, one thing I noticed is that in the New Yorkers are very big on, push and shoving. You just don't do that with anybody unless you're looking for a fight.
Right.
But in the German stores, it's customary. When they bump into each other or push you out of the way, it's just their way. It's just the way they are. And they don't mean anything by it.
So it's not disrespectful. It's
No,
just
no, not at
okay.
all. It's just the way they go about their day. So when I went into the store and started getting pushed and bounced all around, I'm like, what's wrong with these people? You know, are they doing this because I'm a soldier or because I'm different? But I didn't
Right.
understand. And my friend pulled me to the side and said, look, this is the way they conduct business all the time. They don't care about stepping on toes or pushing or shoving. That's just the way they are. So don't take offense to it. So I just learned to deal with that part of
And
it.
they now I know it's a different language and everything, but did they have like you know how like here in our country if you do something like that, it's polite to say excuse me or
Right,
I'm sorry or something like that.
right.
Do they do that in
No,
Germany then? That's what
no.
you're saying then
They
is
don't
that
say excuse me. They
okay,
just go about their way. It's normal for them.
gotcha. I just
So
wanted to make sure on that. So how long were you in Germany for?
I was in Germany that time for about 2 years.
For 2 years? Okay,
Yes.
so now after you leave Germany, you've been in the army for how long?
Oh,
About five
geez.
years, maybe four
About
years.
that, yeah.
And what was your rank at that time?
I was uh probably a specialist at that time,
Okay,
and yeah, I was a specialist, and then I got converted to a corporal, and I actually had orders for it. You know, a lot of people got transferred from specialist to corporal without orders,
okay,
a lateral transfer or whatever. So when I came back here to Fort Huachuca, they tried to take my corporal stripes away. And I said, no, I have orders for my corporal stripes. So they couldn't take my corporal stripes away.
wow.
Yeah.
And you know, I've heard that being done before. I used to, when I was in civil service, I used to work at Milpo,
Uh huh.
and
Uh huh.
they used to deal with like you know orders and uh, oh crap, I can't think of the other people that were in the office there, but they did like when you would transfer from one office to the next.
Yeah. Yeah.
I forget what that was called though. Anyhow, going back to so you're a corporal, so you're at in Germany, and you're going where for your next duty station now?
Next duty station after that, let me see. What did I say? That was Germany.
Right.
I think I came back to I went back to Fort Gordon for some more special training to my MOS because they got some new equipment in,
Oh,
some
really? Okay.
updated teletypes. So I had to go back for training for that.
So instead of just doing like OJT for that, they actually sent you back to school.
Yes,
And was it the same
yes.
MOS though?
Same MOS, yes.
Okay, all right.
Yes. But I just had additional training on that. And that was, they picked a group of us, and we were really the first ones to try this course.
Okay.
And it went pretty well. I think it went longer than it should have. It was about,
Don't we all think that?
yeah, it was about 8 months long. And
Holy crap, really?
yeah, yeah.
Oh, wow.
So,
That must have been some extensive equipment then.
oh, yeah.
Wow.
So,
And this was at Fort Gordon, you said?
this was at Fort Gordon,
Okay.
yes.
So then after you complete your training there at Fort Gordon, what's the next step for you?
I believe I went to Frankfurt, Germany.
Frankfurt, Germany. Okay.
Yes, I was in Frankfurt, Germany for 3 years.
I forgot to mention for those watching, I always do this every time. If you have any questions for Beverly, please put them in the comment section, and I'll be happy to pass them on to her so that she can answer any of your questions. Thank you. Okay, Beverly, I'm sorry. Go ahead. So you go to Germany again?
Yes, and I'm not super correct on my dates.
Right,
I
right.
don't have my dates all right. So yeah, I went to Frankfurt, Germany, and that was I was glad to be back in Germany.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, yeah, because I did some traveling. I was on the when I was in Darmstadt, I was on the Darmstadt softball team, and then when I went to Germany to Frankfurt, I was on the Frankfurt Falconets. So,
And what is that?
it's a softball team. We represented Frankfurt,
Okay.
a female softball team.
And when you say that you represented Frankfurt, were there other countries on the team, or did you play against other countries
No,
or
we
anything?
we
Or?
played against other concerns. Other, like we would go to Bonhoeffer or Hanau, Germany. We would travel all around Germany and play different teams for different army.
So they were all military
Yes.
related. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So, and in fact, one year, I was there for 3 years. One year we took the championship for the one year. I can't remember what year it was.
Okay, we got to do this here.
Okay.
For taking the championship, you deserve that. I don't get a chance to do that very often, so I wanted to throw that out there. Good job.
Okay.
So please continue.
And Frankfurt, you know, it was a really nice experience. Usually when you get in a car accident in Germany, they say you don't survive because they go so fast on the Autobahn.
Right.
And I was fortunate enough to get hit in the rear and spun around, but I survived it.
Thank God.
Yes, thank God. Because I was right over a bridge and I just closed my eyes because I thought the car was going to crash through and go over. But it just stopped. The guardrail stopped it, which I was very thankful for.
Were you in uniform at that time,
Yes.
headed to duty or something like
Yes,
that?
Yes, I was on my way to work.
On your way to work?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep.
Thank God that you're okay from that. You survived that. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here to share your great stories. I find you very fascinating, very interesting, and we're not even done yet. We still got a ways to go yet. So, tell us a little bit about after. Oh, that's what I was going to ask about on the softball team, real quick. What position did you play?
I played in the outfield.
I love baseball, so I like to. And to me, softball, baseball, like this. So I'm glad they brought the women's Olympics back, or the softball back for women's Olympics, because I think it was a mistake that they took it out.
Yeah.
But anyways, you played the outfield?
Yes, I played center field.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're pretty fast. Because center field, you have to be pretty fast.
Well, I was until the knee started going away. But yeah, I did pretty good. And we traveled around all over, and I mean, it was a good experience meeting other people, you know, in Germany, you know. So
good camaraderie.
Yes, excellent. Yeah.
Because I'm sure after the games, wouldn't the teams get together and?
Oh yeah, we get together and go out and eat.
Yeah.
And stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
So after you're stationed in Germany, then what's next for Beverly?
I believe I came back here actually.
See, Fort, we got you.
Yeah, I came back here, and to tell you the truth, I kind of missed Fort Huachuca. I was glad to get back here.
Yeah.
Because my first experience here wasn't the best. I mean, I got hit and drugged by a truck in the parking lot.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Where did that happen at?
This happened on post.
Oh wow!
On Fort Huachuca, I was going to retrieve some things from the supply room, and back then, I mean, it was like any and everything goes, and there was 2 soldier friends of mine sitting in the truck and doing something they shouldn't have been doing, some illegal drugs, and they decided they were going to joke around with me and pull the truck up to me, but they were coming fast, and I had some keys and some record albums in my hand, so all I could do was throw them and try to grab the truck before it hit me, but I slid under it, and it wound up dragging me halfway down the pavement, and you know, I mean, I went and got the asphalt scrubbed out of my back every day.
Oh my goodness, that couldn't have been. In other words, I'm trying to say that had to hurt.
Oh yeah, but the Army had no mercy. I had to get up and go to work every day, and I couldn't wear my fatigues because I couldn't wear underwear up at top.
Over the wound?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I went to work like nothing.
But they didn't let you go in civilian clothes, did they?
Oh yeah.
Oh, they did.
Oh
okay.
yeah. I went to work. Oh yeah. On Fort Huachuca in civilian clothes. I had I forget what you call it, a profile that I couldn't wear military uniform at the time. So And the two people weren't prosecuted or anything. I mean, they just kind of swept it under the rug. But
It just blows my mind how stupid people can be.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That movie, Forrest Gump, when he says "stupid is as stupid does."
Right, right.
Can't say it any better than that. I mean,
yeah. So
people.
I mean, and I'm still suffering from the back injuries now, and I've been fighting ever since I got out to try to get a percentage for it. And I tell you what, if it's not in your records, if it wasn't annotated, then they just act like it didn't happen.
So you don't have it annotated anywhere?
Well,
it should have been.
Somehow my medical records from that time got lost, and yeah, that's the way they did things. But I'm a survivor, and I've been out of I've been out of the Army since '92.
Okay, so how long did you serve?
I served for 12 and a half years.
12 and a half years, okay.
And I just got awarded last year 100%.
Oh, that's great.
But it was for, I had 5 knee replacements.
Did they back pay it? Was it backdated, I mean? To when you first filed your claim, right?
Some of it was. Yeah. Some of it wasn't. Like for my knee, for instance, I had 3 replacements in Tucson, and the whole time the knee was too big that they put in. So I actually went to Tucson Orthopedic, and they did another 2 surgeries, which I found out the doctor didn't really do anything but make me go through a bunch of pain.
Is this at the Tucson VA?
No, this was at Tucson Orthopedic.
Orthopedics.
Yeah, this is the 4th and 5th one.
Okay.
And finally, I went to St. Joseph's, and there's a Dr. Thomas Nelson. He looked at the x-rays. He says, you can't walk because your knee is too big. And I was like, I've been trying to tell him that for the last 5 years. So he went in and shaved it down, and actually the plate that supported the knee, he shaved that down. So now I can actually bend my knee and sit normal. I haven't been able to do this in 5 years.
Good.
So, but I'm in a much better place. I'm not going to sit around and complain about things. I'm going to give thanks that I'm better than I was.
Now, I just want to know, because I want to make sure I understood. So when you had the fixed and now it's working good, who did that surgery? Was that also at?
No, that was at St. Joseph's.
At St. Joe in Tucson?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So if anybody, I asked that because maybe we have other veterans that have similar issues, and maybe they're not getting the care that they need from the Tucson VA, and if that's something they would want to look at.
Thomas Nelson is an orthopedic specialist, and he fixed my problem.
That's great.
Yes.
So you got out after 12 and a half years, and you were stationed here at Fort. We got you, and you ain't going anywhere.
No.
And that was, again, what year?
That was in 92.
In 92.
Yeah.
So you've been here in and out, but you've been here. You've seen a lot of changes in the area, right? It's grown quite a bit.
Yeah.
So you got out. You were what rank?
I was an E5 when I got
out. E5 when you got out. Okay.
Yes.
When you got out and you were here at Fort Huachuca, did you apply for any VA disability at that time?
Oh, I've been applying ever since I got out.
And who represented you? What organization, I mean?
The DAV rep. Well, I was with the what was it? The DAV.
Right, we have the DAV here. There's the VFW, the American Legion, and then I don't know who he's with, but there's also the person that works out at the hospital cemetery. Yeah,
I went to those guys at first.
Okay.
And it was very slow moving. Everything with the VA is slow moving. And someone, said, hey, quit messing with those guys and go to DAV. Those guys will help you.
Okay.
So I finally went to DAV, and I mean, it was a slow process, but
right.
They got me up to where I needed to be. They did all the paperwork, and I mean, all you have to do is go in the DAV and tell them what's wrong. They write everything for you. They do everything for you. It's so sweet.
Well, I don't want to be tooting our own horn, but because I am a chapter service officer there, and I go down on Thursdays, and work with Phyllis, and then Trish is the one that's still training me But it is a really great system, because what they do is they take all of your information and then they email it right to the National Service Officer, and the National Service Officer for the DAV shares the same building with the VA.
Right.
So they get the claim pretty quick now.
Right.
Back in the old days when it was snail mail, it did take forever.
Yeah.
So when you got your first disability rating, what was the percentage on that?
My first disability rating was 40%.
Okay. So that enabled you at least to have like veteran preference for going and applying for jobs and stuff.
Right. Right.
So that was good there.
Right, because I had honorable discharge and everything. And I forget the service officer at the time. I believe he passed away. But, he told me, don't give up. He said the 40% is just a beginning, but
right.
You have more things that you need to claim. And he didn't want to overload everything by putting everything in there at once. So it was a slow process. And I got up to 80%.
Because you want to get your foot in the door. You want to
right.
get it started.
Right.
And so many veterans that are out there, and hopefully some that are watching, are like, wow, I haven't filed a claim and I don't want to take the time, or, and they'll let 10 years go by, 20 years go by, and then all of a sudden something happens and they can't get the help that they need.
Right.
And 20 years has gone by. And that's 10 or 20 years of compensation that they could have been receiving.
Exactly.
Medications.
Exactly.
Just so many benefits. It's just
to give you an example. My roommate for my third surgery at the VA, she was having a knee replacement as well, and we were talking, and she said she had already had her other knee replaced and a hip replacement. So I asked her. I said, "Well, did you get 13 months of
temporary disability at 100%, yeah.
And she said, no, what are you talking about?
Right, because nobody knows.
Yeah. So, when I was at the VA hospital, I enlightened so many vets, and they didn't know that they could get, the 13 months of disability for having a replacement of the knee or the hip or anything.
Yeah.
And,
I learned so much about how the VA works. Not through any service organization, but talking to other veterans going up to the hospital,
right,
and work in the system. And I hate to say work in the system because it makes it sound like it's cheating. It's not cheating.
Right.
It's just that they have these really stupid rules. I think they're kind of stupid sometimes. And some of these forms that I'm helping with veterans fill out, I think some of the questions are really personal. And I think it's stuff that either A, they don't need to know, or B, they already know. So why do they have to be told again?
Right.
But that's me. Don't get me started on that.
Well, and another thing, I was diagnosed with sleep apnea.
Okay.
And the VA sent me to a sleep clinic and everything in Tucson. And they said, yes, I had severe sleep apnea. And they gave me a machine. But they said they wouldn't pay for that disability because it wasn't in my records. I don't know that they even knew it was sleep apnea back when I had sleep apnea.
Right.
And so, if it's not in your records, they're just going to act like it didn't happen. So,
were you able to go back, though, and finally get it service connected, or you just...
No.
They just said it was secondary to a different...
They just said, yeah, you have it, but we're not going to pay you for it because there's no proof in your records that you have sleep apnea. You tested me.
Well, one nice thing about being 100%, actually, there's really nothing nice about being 100% because you suffer.
Right.
But I'm saying that if you have to suffer, one of the nice things about it is the fact that you can go and get treated pretty much for anything when you're 100%.
Right.
And you can even go outside the VA, depending on what the circumstances are. You can do the community health care too. So
yes. And one thing I found out also is that the 5 times that I went to VA to get my claim increased, those doctors up there, and they pretty much told me everything I wanted to hear while I was in the exam room.
Right.
And when I left out, getting the paperwork in the mail, it's like, denied. So I actually asked them if I could go to an outside contractor that dealt with the VA to be evaluated.
Right.
So after all these years, I went to the outside office, which was on Orange Grove. The VA sent me there.
Can you share that information? Do you have that with us or
Yeah,
no?
I don't have that information
Okay.
because I just asked them. I told them I want to see an outside contractor for the
Okay.
VA.
Outside contractor.
Yes, and I went there on a Wednesday. I was at 90%. I went there on a Wednesday.
Okay.
And I checked my e-benefits that next week Wednesday, and it was moved up to 100%.
Wow.
Everything had gotten approved and everything. Didn't get any letters in the mail or anything. Till this day, I still haven't. I had to. I went up and I said, okay. I had to call the 1-800 number to get paperwork sent to me saying that I was 100% disabled. The paperwork that they sent me, I took it on post to get my ID card.
Right.
And for some reason, they said it wasn't good enough.
Really?
I said, first of all, any ID, my medical ID or whatever, I can go get on post, go into the PX.
Go to the commissary.
And everything.
Yeah.
So what are you talking about? So the woman up there said, no, it needs to say that you have PX and commissary privileges. I said that makes no sense. I already have those privileges. I'm just up here to get my ID card.
Right.
So they sent me away, and I called them and tried to get more paperwork. It was hell getting the ID card.
And the good thing about the ID card to get it is just so you can get on base because they're checking you at the gate right when you go in each time.
And at that time, I really didn't even need it, because I had I retired from the federal government. I didn't retire from the Army. But they just gave me a hard time, so I asked to speak to the supervisor, and he said, I don't know what's going on, but you know what? He called another lady in there. He said, don't take her to whoever her name was. Give her her ID card, and we'll be done with this. And
wow,
it was just, it's a mess. It's a mess.
Now, when you got out of the Army, did you get civil service right away? Did it take a while for you to get in there?
No, I was actually a government contractor for 12 years, working for the government.
So you served 12 and a half years Army. I just want to follow the story. Mm-hmm. And then you get out, and now you're working with the contracting office for another 12 years.
Right. But I had a year break in between that. I went to work for ARES, which is Arizona Residential Integrated Educational Services.
Okay.
And I worked there for a year, making minimum wage, but that's all I could find at the time. And I finally came on post and filled out the paperwork, and I was a government contractor for 12 years.
And what kind of job did you have working as a DOC, right?
Oh, no.
You're a civil service, right?
Civil service. Yeah, I worked for
DAC, Department of Army Civilian. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think is what it's called.
I worked for EPG.
Oh, Electronic Proving Ground.
Yes.
Okay.
I worked for them for the 12 years, and then I transferred over to government. And that 12 years added to my government service. So I was able to, so
that's interesting.
I was able to retire from the federal government.
So then you get your compensation, and then you get your retirement from the civilian side too. That's really great.
Yes,
that's great. What type of, when you were working at EPG, what type of, well, I don't know if you can answer this because I know some of it could be classified, but what were some of the type of jobs that you did over there?
Well, one of the things I did, I worked in the supply system, and I actually did I had a government credit card, and I actually did the placing the orders for the contractors, the government people on post. Whatever they needed, if they needed a chair or a television or a CD or whatever they needed, I was part of the buying process for them.
I remember back in the day when you came in on Fort Huachuca, I think that fire station is there now, but there used to be that old building. It was like a big brown old barracks.
Yeah.
Wasn't that where they used to have where you would go in and order, or they had items that you could buy with the... I seem to remember that.
Yeah, there's been a couple of places on post. I don't
Hmm.
know if they still exist. But for EPG, they were down
Oh,
kind
so
of around housing.
they had their own
Oh yeah, they
supplier.
had their
Oh,
own
okay. All
supply
right.
thing, and that was for anything that the contractors needed at the time.
Okay.
So then I switched from the government credit cards, and then I controlled all of the gas cards.
Oh,
So whenever anybody went TDY or anything, or if they went anywhere TDY, I issued the gas cards to them.
okay. So they
Yeah,
had to sign up from.
sign one card out.
Wow,
Yes.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because these are the type of jobs that veterans get. How they're helping. What's the word I'm looking for? Help support.
Hmm.
Not because these contractors, they do support our military.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so I just wanted to be clear on that for everybody. And I just, I don't know, I'm just amazed by all of that. It's just mind blowing for me personally. But that's just me.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
get me started on that. So you get retired from the civil service. And what was your grade at that time? Was it
It
like a
was
GS rating?
GS9.
GS9.
Yes.
Okay, that's pretty high up there. So then you retire from that and you're doing what? What's next?
Next, what did I do next? I was still playing softball. Actually, I was playing softball with the senior league, a traveling softball league.
You're not old enough to be a senior league. Now get out of here.
I'll be 65 next year.
No way.
Yeah.
50 maybe, tops.
I wish I could go back. But yeah, I joined a traveling softball team, and actually we did pretty well. I have 2 Grand Slams under my belt.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. So
Is that a league that's here in Sierra Vista then? Or?
it started here in Sierra Vista. We would call the Hot Flashes,
Okay.
and we had a team just from girls from Bisbee, Tombstone, and around this area.
So Cochise County, basically.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And we would travel to Tucson and different places. So after that, I got recruited by a higher traveling team.
Okay.
So I joined. Going around with the team I was on. When we go to Vegas or California, I mean, you don't get paid for it, but they have scouts in there looking at people, looking at the batting averages and the speed and everything like that. And I had a lot of people trying to pick me up because I was a power hitter and I was very fast.
Wow.
So, I was getting recruited. I got recruited by different teams, but you don't always gel with other people right away. So I moved around a lot.
Okay.
And then when my knees start to give out, and then I just quit playing.
Now this was fast pitch, right?
No,
slow pitch.
No, slow
Okay,
pitch.
all right.
Yeah.
Because I know they have a fast pitch league too. I forget.
Oh
what
yeah, those are the younger girls.
Yeah.
But because the older girls don't do fast pitch here in service anymore. No.
I was watching that charity softball game during the All-Star game, and Jenny Finch was on the mound, and she threw a fastball. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Just, messing around. So.
Yeah.
How did you get connected with the Warrior Healing Center?
Let me see. I don't know if I read about it at one time or something and just decided to come by and be nosy and ran into, I think Kathy was here and Tim was here.
Okay.
And I wound up talking to Tim for a long time, and he told me what he was trying to get started. And I told him I was pretty good because I didn't think there was anything in this town like that. And I always take the cards and the pamphlets, and whenever I go up to VA in Tucson or the VA here or any medical facility, I always hand them out and make sure people know of this center because it does nothing more but help veterans. and I'm fortunate to be affiliated with it.
I see you at Bagels and Brew every Thursday
Oh,
that
yeah.
they have it, and we need more and more of our veterans out there to just come in and socialize.
Yeah.
Because this is a great place to just come in and make new friends and have that I've talked to everybody that I've interviewed have all said that when you have that military experience, no matter if it's a year or 20 years, you wear that uniform, and there's just like a special lingo, a bond that the military has. And I think that's one of the biggest things that I love about the Warrior Healing Center is that they bring all of this together.
Right. And one thing that I really hate to hear come out of a vet's mouth is the fact of how much time they've done. And whenever they say, "Oh, I only did 1 year," I correct them and I said, "You did 1 year of service. It doesn't matter how long,
Right.
1 year or 100 years." And I hate when they say, "Oh, I only did a year. Oh, I only did 2 years." You did a lot, and they're taken away from themselves.
And I can attest to the fact because it's happened to me. I know a couple other people it happens. If you don't have a good senior NCO structure and you're a junior NCO, you're set up to fail.
Right.
And I know that a couple of our veterans that may have only served 1 or 2 years and weren't able to complete their term for whatever reason, a lot of that has to do with the fact that maybe they just weren't mentored very well.
Poor leadership.
Exactly.
Right.
And the Warrior Healing Center, they don't care about what your discharge status is.
Right.
They care that you put on the uniform, you took the oath to protect our country from foreign and domestic enemies. And
exactly.
So tell us a little bit about your volunteering here, if you would. What is it?
I used to sit at the front desk and volunteer, and I told them I didn't want to do it for a long period of time. I just wanted to do it while they didn't have anyone.
Okay.
So now they have some people that are dedicated that can do it, and I told them, they can call me anytime that somebody calls and says they can't make it. I live probably up the street. I'd be more than glad to come in. We do a drum circle every third Friday of the month here. I'm involved with the flutes for vets on Thursdays at 5:30. It starts.
I think the drum circle sounds cool. I think that's something I'd like to do myself. I'm going to have to check that out.
Yeah. So, and that's a lot of fun. And you don't have to know how to play the drums. We have extra drums. You just come out and sit, listen, try to play, do whatever you want to do.
Right.
But we have a good time.
Do they do that out front, or no?
It all depends on the weather.
On the weather?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And I think I might have that in the notes here. If not, we'll make sure to mention that when I'm doing the events that are coming up here.
And on Thursdays, I don't know if we still do the Rona, where you call the vets and let them know what's going on.
Yeah.
I come in and do that on Thursdays whenever they need me. I've done that a couple of times.
I think the thing is that you have 200% veterans here that come in, and we volunteer our time because we love our other veterans. We love our county. We're here to try and help. And I think that those that are watching that don't know, for example, I had a call or urging, I guess you say, or calling something's like, but I couldn't find my niche. So maybe we have somebody out there that's watching right now that hasn't found that niche, and maybe the Warrior Healing Center could be their niche,
right,
where they could come in and see exactly what all is going on, because it's just...
And if they don't need help, they can always help someone.
That's right. Wow, I like that. That's good. I like that.
Cool.
Is there anything else that you'd like to share with us?
No, I guess I'm...
Oh, boxing! We skipped over boxing. Oh my gosh. She boxes. Tell us a little bit about that.
Not anymore. Well, I always wanted to try boxing out, and I found the coach for the boxing team here in Fort Huachuca.
Okay.
And so I really wanted to do it at the time, to lose a little bit of weight, and so the coach actually recruited me to help with the female boxers.
Okay.
And I kind of got into it and liked it a little bit, and decided I was going to go and box here there on Fort Huachuca. Um, Little did I know the girl that I was going to fight had a kickboxing school in Phoenix. And the only
Okay.
reason I fought her is because the girl that was supposed to fight her didn't show up.
Okay.
So they put me in, and it didn't go my way. I didn't get knocked completely out, but
Okay.
it went one round. I got the first hit, and that was probably the end of the fight.
Okay.
But I still continued on training and everything, and then I had a friend that there was a tough man, tough woman contest that was going to be here in Sierra Vista, and without my knowledge, my friend entered me, and I found out about it probably 2 days after. And I told her name was Dawn
Good job, Dawn.
Carpenter, and I told her if I get beat up in the ring, I was going to come out of the ring and beat her up. So anyway, it was a tough man, tough woman contest, and I was very scared because the girl, she was a little bigger than me, but I got in the ring, and actually it was a TKO in the first round.
Wow.
I pretty much laid her out. Um,
And this is why you run after duty, right?
yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, but I continued to train and for a while, and then I kind of got bored with it and dedicated everything to softball, traveling softball.
Okay.
Hmm.
Well, I can't thank you enough for sitting down with us today at Warrior Healing Center here and sharing your story with us. I actually enjoyed doing this. I was really nervous about it, but I really enjoy it because everybody has their own unique story.
Right, right.
And I can't thank you enough
Thank
for
you.
sharing yours.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
All right.
If you can stay with me here just for a minute,
Sure.
I'll go through a couple of these notes here.
Okay.
Some of the events that are coming up here at the Warrior Healing Center are, and I'm remembering when I do these, today's Friday, so today at 10:30, today, 10:30, we are having the Warrior Healing Center VLS Free Benefits Seminar. So if you want to find out what some of your benefits are as a veteran, I encourage you to come down and attend this course. A lot of good information. And on this same day today at 1700 hours to 1900 hours is again the Warrior Healing Center VLS Free Benefits Seminar. On Saturday at 5 p.m., we have the Young AA Potluck. And this is a group that's been getting off the ground. It's had a lot of good support, and I encourage you to attend it if you can. If you're struggling with anything that may have to do with AA, please attend that. Also, we have on Mondays, August 2nd, 17:30 to 18:30, we have the 5 Treasures of Qigong. And on Tuesday at 18:30 to 19:30, we have the AmVets Post 89 meeting that is going to be here at the Warrior Healing Center. Also, on Thursday, August 5th, from 1700 to 18:30, we have the Flutes for Vets Circle. And I don't see the drum circle on here. If it's on here, I might have skipped over it. Can you give us a little bit about that again?
The drum circle is every third Friday of the month.
Every third Friday of the month at what time?
At 4 o'clock.
At 1600 hours? Okay,
Yes.
Great. Thank you for that. Appreciate that. Also on Thursday, August 5th, we have the, at 18:30 here at the Warrior Healing Center, we have the Warrior Healing Center, Warrior Headspace and Timing, which is a PTSD support group. We also have on Saturday at 0700 the RWB Warriors for Warriors 5K, and they're going to be meeting at Country Club Park. And RWB, that's red, white, and blue. And on Sunday, August 8th, 0700, we have the RWB Ruck, and that's in Bisbee at the Bisbee Coffee Company. And that is all the events I have for now. Don't forget to call the Warrior Healing Center. Phone number is on the bottom here. If you want to get some information on the concert that's coming up, the Freedom Fest on 9/11. It's going to be held at the Veterans Park, and it's going to be starring Don McLean saying bye-bye Miss American Pie.
Oh, cool.
All right, Beverly, once again, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Just have a great day and a great weekend. Bye.
Bye-bye.